This conference will now be recorded.
Right then. So in the last class, we spoke about the subscription and the kind of resource group. So this is for what? Just for to have your identity for a particular resource what you have within a subscription. So in generally for every subscription or for every account what you have, so the maximum the maximum number of subscription is, I would like say, it's unlimited. So you can create any number of subscriptions you have in here. So the maximum number of subscription you can create is like unlimited, limited in here. And how many resource groups you can create per subscription in here. So the maximum number of resource groups, how much you create is around like around 980 resource groups per subscription. So these are not really entry point of view questions, but just for information purpose only right here, guys. And and again, within my resources group, how many resources I can create in here. So you can create around per resource kind, I would say, or you can per resource, or we can create around like 800 in here. So these many things it can support. I mean, your cloud can support in here per subscription. This is also per subscription here. So per subscription 980 resource group per subscription. Similarly here as well, number of resources, it can be like around 800 in each every resource group in here. That's how huge number of things you can go ahead and you can do the things in here. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's try to access your account, and let's try to create the first resource, that nothing but your Windows virtual machine. So let's go here. So this is my earlier class, no problem. Remove this one. So now I'm trying to, if you see here, when you open your portal page, you can see a lot many resources available in here by default. So you can either use in here, or if you don't find your virtual machine here, you can see its search bar in here. So this helps us to provide whatever you want to get it. Suppose I know virtual machine. So I can see my virtual machine here. Click on your virtual machine. So once you click on your virtual machine, you can get into a second page in here where you can see create. So this is like a preset configuration. I don't want to have with any already configured things. I want to go with create my own virtual machine as per my requirement in here. So click on your virtual machine. So once you click on that one, so it will now go to one more page in here where your actual details of your virtual machine has been you have to provide in here. So within my virtual machine, very first step you see here, project details. So this is something like you have to mention your kind of subscription and your resource group for sure. So for which subscription you are trying to create this particular virtual machine in here. Similarly, under which resource group you are trying to have this particular virtual machine created. So this is all this for your identity purpose. Okay. So now, as usual, for people who have tried to create your the account yesterday, or which have the free trial, they may be seeing free trial subscription here, and other people may be seeing like Azure subscription one, all those things in here, but they won't find any resource groups. So this is what we have to create on our own. So subscription will be tagged automatically once you create your account, but not your resources groups. So we have to create a resource group in here. So here we have two things. Resource groups can be created in two ways. The first thing is like we can create within the instance or within the resource what we are trying to create in here, what we are trying to create. For example, like your virtual machine, your storage accounts, all those things in here, what we have in here. Second thing is like we have a separate icon, as you saw now with respect to your virtual machine. Similar to that, we have a separate icon for your resource group as well. So you can create a resource group over there and you can use that resource group within my instances or within the resources what we're trying to create in here. What you're trying to create in here. Okay, so this is the second method. So here, second thing is like we can directly or we can create the resource group all alone first, and then we can use the created resource group in the instances or the resources what you're trying to create. So second thing in here. So the first thing what you see in here, see this is the one. So what we have said, we can create within the resource what you're trying to create. That's nothing but your virtual machine. What are the resources you're trying to create? We can create the resource group within the resource itself. What you're trying to create. So that is nothing but this one. So you can say create new. So I'm currently in the resources like virtual machine where I'm trying to create, and within this instance, within this virtual machine, resource, I can create my resource group in here. Or the second thing, we can create the resource group all alone first, and then we can use the created resource group in the instances. So where you have this one, where you can go and create your resource group all alone here. So for now, I'm not using my first option. I'm trying to go with my second option. I'm trying to go to my home backend. See, I can see my resource group icon in here. Okay, so just go ahead and click on your resource group icon. See, as of now, I don't see any resource groups available in here. So what I'll do, click on create. So here as well, to creating a resource group, it requires a subscription for sure. Yes, and here provide the name of your resource group. So how do you provide the name of resource group in here? So do we have any standards follow for this particular part? So yes, you can provide any name. In generally, in your real-time perspective, they'll try to create the resource group based upon the location name, or like East US hyphen RG, or like conduct of West US hyphen RG, or based upon location name they may create. Or it's not a mandatory to provide that particular part. You can provide any name. Currently, I'm trying to provide our institute name, VRIT in here, and hyphen RG. So RG is the one which helping us to understand that this is a resource group. This is for just readability purpose only, not more than that. So this is the name I am providing for my resource group to be created, where under this resource group, I am trying to have my virtual machine create in here. Now, when you're trying to create a resource group, where do you want to have this resource group created? Because within your Azure level, you have around like 140 plus, or around like 60 plus regions. You have 60 plus regions in here. So where you have all this nothing but in every region you have 3 to 4 data centers. Correct? 3 to 4 data centers in here. So where do you want to deploy this particular resource group in here? Where so that your virtual machine also will be deployed at the same region. So here we do not have any restrictions in here, guys. So you can go and deploy anywhere in the world globally. So if you go back in here, when you click on this one, see I can see East US to South Central, West US, Southeast Asia, Sweden, North Europe, West Europe. So similar to that, you have a lot many things in here. Your Norway, your Switzerland, your Germany West, Brazil South. So all these are nothing but my different regions where my data centers are allocated for my Azure cloud in here. So you can choose any one of the locations where you can go ahead and create your resource group. But for every, with respect to each and every location, what you chose, your price will differ for sure. Okay, even in India, suppose for type like India, say I can Central India, South India, and West India. So it's anywhere, wherever you want, you can go and do the things in here. But for every region, what you chose, as I told you, the price will be different. So mostly people we try to go in your issues because the price in here is a little bit down when compared to the things in here. So because here we're trying to practice, or I'm trying to pay from my pocket in here. So I don't want to have my I don't want to pay much to my Azure. So the same thing. So probably the everything will be similar in here. No differences you can see in here when you have deployed your resource group within the East West, or when you deployed your code within your India. Then you don't see any difference in here, but the price will be difference. So to make sure to have a little bit less price, I'm trying to go with East to West. So we can try with India as well. So we'll choose India. For example, let's go with East to West now, and later on, when you're trying to create one more, we'll try to see India. Let's see the difference of between East to West and India, what we have in here. Okay. So whenever you're trying to create any resource group, two things are mandatory. What is that? Your resource group name, as well as the region where you are trying to deploy your resource group. And the same region should be used for any instances you're trying to create, or any resources you're trying to create when you're trying to use the same resource group in here. So now, for example, I'm trying to create my virtual machine, and I'm using my VRIT-RG is my resource group I'm using over there. So when I choose my VRIT- as my resource group within my virtual machine, then automatically my location should be east to west. That means even my virtual machine should have been created under my east to west in here. So understood, right? When I am choosing my east to west for my resource group in here, and what I'm trying to do, this is my resource group. What is that resource group name? VRIT-RG. So now to create the virtual machine, the resource group, what I'm trying to use, the same VRIT-RG, the resource group I'm trying to use in here. So since my VRIT-RG is been created under my east to west, and you're using the same VRIT-RG to create your virtual machine as well, your virtual machine also will be deployed in the same location where your resource group is created. So finally, what I want to say is like my resource group and my virtual machine both will be under same location. This is what we have to have. So we cannot have, when you choose VRIT-RG, and you cannot choose different region for my virtual machine, it will fail, because you can't have that particular part in here. So your instance as well as a resource group both should be under the same region for sure. It should be under the same location for sure in here. That is how they are planned. Okay. So now I'm trying to choose east to west, and simply I'm clicking on review plus create. So this is the subscription, this is a resource group, and this is a region I'm having in here. Go ahead and click on create. So now what it is trying to do, it is trying to, this is so quick, okay. It's trying to deploy, or it's trying to create a resource group within my east to west location with using my subscription in here. So I'm responsible for this particular resource group in here. So what are the things you're having within this particular resource group? What are the instances you're trying to create, your virtual machine, your storage account, what are you trying to create under this particular resource group using your subscription? I am responsible for that. So I have to pay the amount to my cloud initial. Understood, right? So now this is my resource group got created successfully using my second method. So all alone in here. Now what I'll do, I will use the created resource group in the instances, or in the resources what I'm trying to go in now going forward. So my first instance here is my virtual machine. Click on my virtual machine here. So now go ahead, click on your virtual machine back in here.
Sham,
Yeah,
can we change the location later on?
yes, of course, we can do that. Earlier it was not there, but now we got an option to move your resource groups.
Okay, that
Okay, we
sounds
can
good.
move the resource group, we can move the subscriptions. We have an option. I'll show you that once your virtual machines get created. So
Shyam,
now,
I have one query. Chandra here.
yes, Chandra, yeah, please go ahead.
You said that like per resource we can create 800 engines, right? 800. In that 800, it includes storage accounts and virtual machines, or only virtual machines we can count for that 800?
This is, actually it's per resource, per 800 virtual machines, 800 storage accounts, 800, ACRs
It
per
include, yeah, it include all like otherwise individually we can do that like.
we can do individually. It's not like see, they are trying to give you the maximum number per resource in here. So you can create
Mhm.
800 VMs, or you can create 800 storage accounts. You can create 800 your ACR Azure Cutter registry within the same resource
Mhm.
group. That's the meaning of per resource.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
And one more thing, regarding the region, East US, right? You said that cost will be less in that region.
Yeah.
And maybe, for example, just I'm asking, like, for example, if so many will be creating in that same region. If the data is very less, will it throw an error for us? Like,
No. No way. No. So
okay.
again, it's not like it's mandatory to use only SUS. You can use anywhere.
We
So
can use anywhere, but so many, for example, like if so many will use, so many will create the subscription and virtual machines in that East US region. If, for
mhm.
example, if they allocate 100 GB for that particular region,
Hmm.
if it got the data is full, will it throw an error for us, or will
Yeah,
it increment automatically?
in that case, that will throw in a saying that there's no space available within your in that region, because
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
what I meant.
even though saying it's cloud in here, is they'll be having some limit for anything. There'll be some limit in here. So in the
Mhm.
data center, what they have in that particular region, they can serve for around, suppose, like 1 million applications only, not more than that. But when you globally, if you see here, you have millions of applications running. So not like everybody will go with the same place. So if you
Okay.
still want to go, and even though my space is filled up, if you still want to go, yes, we do have an option called as spot instance. CS
Mhm.
spot instance. So this but this is for temporary purpose only. I'll give you an example with that particular part. So if you do
Okay.
not have the space with respect to the data center, yes, there is a thrown error. But generally, it
No.
doesn't happen for me till now.
Just I'm asking for example, like.
Yeah, of course, because everything has a limit, guys. So
Yeah,
nobody can, and that scenario, they can have only one center. Why do you have these many globally? It's waste of
yeah,
money.
yeah. Otherwise, Microsoft team will manage the data, like whether they will do the increment of the space, or will it get error. I'm getting note like.
Yeah, of course, they can do that. Even that is possible up to, but up to what level? So there should be some
Mm.
limit finally, right?
Yeah. Yes.
They
Yes.
can't go and keep on investing money on the same data center every time.
Yes. Correct. Okay, Shyam.
Yeah, sure. So now let's getting back to my virtual machine here. So once you have created, you can choose a subscription, but choose a virtual resource group. Now, if I click on my drop down, instead of creating new in here, I'll click on my drop down list in here. See, I can see BRIT-RG. Why you're getting in here? Because I have already created my resource group all alone earlier, and now I'm using this one within my instance. I'm not creating any new resource group in here within my virtual machine instance in here. So see, earlier by default it's showing you like Australia East, but when I choose my resource group, this will be automatically changed to East US, because as I told you, with respect to my resource group, what location you chose, the same location should be used to create my virtual machine as well. See here, I'm going to click on my ER@-RG. This automatically, now you can see it's become East US in here. That means my both resource group as well as my virtual machine, both should be created under my same location in here. That's a important point to note it. So now what else we have, virtual machine name. Sorry. So now, do we have any standards to follow with respect to my virtual machine name in here? Yes, we do have. So with respect to name, I would say that what kind of resource it is. The first thing, it's a virtual machine. Second thing, what application we are running in the VM. So for example, .NET application. Okay. So which location you are running this application here. What is the location name? You can say it's a East US. Okay. So you can say that what is the serial number, or what kind of environment you're trying to use this particular virtual machine is for. I would say it's from dev environment. Do you have dev environment? You have Q environment, right? So dev environment. So finally, you can add a serial number for this part as well, because similar code to my dotted application, or you can either go with my application name, or you can go with your project code what you have in here within your real-time perspective. So you can add either of this or that project code, or this one, both of the same in here. So using this kind of different things within the same name, you can go ahead and you can create your virtual machine name in here. But again, guys, this is not a mandatory to have it. For now, let me go with the first. We have like VM hyphen, and I'm trying to run for my .NET hyphen East US hyphen, and dev environment hyphen, and some serial number. So this is the name generally you can see in your real-time perspective as well. By seeing the name itself, you can clearly understand what this particular VM is for. So this is a dotted application running in East US location, dev environment in here, and so it's a virtual machine mainly. So here, such a manner, they go ahead and they try to have your name created within your real-time environment. But I'm not saying that the same thing exact standard will follow with every company. So it may change client to client in here based upon the things what they want to go with. Okay. So at the same time, if you see here, I can see provide hyphen. In generally, when you're trying to write any name, you try to provide underscores. In general, this is it's a manual habitude we have in here. But underscores are not allowed within your virtual machine name in here, within your Azure level in here. So try to go with hyphens only. Okay. So I'm trying to copy this one, and I'm trying to provide my name in here. So now if I'm trying to go with my underscore, it will throw an error saying that your names cannot contain can contain letters, numbers, dots, and hyphens only. You can't have underscore, all those things in here. So hyphen. And again, guys, so this is just for standard purpose only. I've mentioned it. It's not like without writing such a manner, my name of my virtual machine is not being considered. It's not like that. Yes, it will be considered. You can simply write down Windows -VM. Even this has been okay, not a problem. You can write down your name or my name in here, Sham VM. Yes, this has been considered. So name is just it's based upon thing what you provide, what you want and what you provide. Based upon that, it will go ahead in here. So, but only the few things is like you should have your letters, you have numbers, you have dot, or you have hyphens in here. But no underscore, nothing has been accepted with respect to your name in here. So you can write any name in it. So going forward, I will not mention such a huge long name. I'll simply go with Windows VM, or simply go with my or kind of Linux VM in here, something, so that based upon the things what I create in here. Okay. So I'm trying to take, so whatever is accepted or not based upon the tick mark, you can see in here. If anything goes wrong, for example, I'm trying to again, it goes wrong, it will throw me error saying that you can't end with hyphen in here. So Azure names cannot be contain special characters towards the end of my name in here. So tick mark, yes, it's good to go with. Okay. So my virtual machine name, I'm fine with that. My region, I'm fine with this. And next I have availability options. This is important. So let me go with a small diagram. So generally, as I told you, in every region, you have a multiple data centers. For example, I trying to deploy my application or deploy my virtual machine in your where East West. Similarly, in India also, we can have multiple resources, multiple regions in here. Can anybody tell me what is the regions in India? I think I already spoke about this one earlier.
Mumbai, Pune,
Chennai,
and Chennai.
Pune, Bombay, or Mumbai.
Pune,
Yeah, Chennai,
Mumbai, Pune.
Mumbai, and finally your Pune. So these are the three locations where your data centers are available for your Azure cloud. Okay. So let me go with Chennai. For example, I'm having my Chennai in here. So within my Chennai, I have my data center located. This is my data center. Data center nothing but it's a cluster of servers available within my data center in here. So think that this is my this is a kind of a server available in here, and I have multiple applications running within using the same cluster. I mean same data center in here. So this is, I would say, it's a data center 1, or also we can also say it's like a availability zone. Availability zone 1 in here. So you can say either say availability zone or data center 1. Any one you can mention in here, not a problem in here. Okay. So now what happens in generally, your people who are the people you have in here, they can go ahead and they can access your application with using your data center 1, and they can enjoy the application. So they can, for example, like YouTube or something else. So they can enjoy the videos what they have in here after having the connectivity with respect to my data center or application what they have in here. Very good. So think that all of a sudden, due to now in Chennai, there are a lot many floods that happened last very long back. I don't know if you remember or not. So due to that huge floods, even the whole city is underwater for a couple of weeks. So even your IT people did not go to offices for those 2 weeks. So at that moment of time, I don't remember exactly the name of the cyclone, but at that moment of time, even your data center is totally down. So when your data center is totally down, what are the applications or what are the servers are running with respect to my data center will be automatically down. So once it's my applications or everything is down, do you have connectivity now? So can I access my application which has been available from my data center within my Chennai region? Obviously no, because my whole thing has been shut down in here. My whole data center has been shut it down. So I don't have any, if it's not running, my servers are not running, obviously my applications are not running. If my applications are not running, then what you will be going and accessing the things in here? Nothing. So my customer has been impacted. Now in that scenario, what's the question now? So for that reason being, what your Azure people do is like, they'll ask you beforehand, do you want to have your server or do you want your application running in only one data center, or do you want to have application running in any other data center in here within the same region? That means they're asking you, do you want to have any backup for your application? Yes, I do want a backup. Then they'll be having one more data center in here with respect to the same thing what you have in here, and that will be available within like 100 to or 150 to 250 kilometers range. So this is my data center or availability zone 2. Similarly, this is my data center 2 in here. So this is a backup for my primary data center in here, primary availability zone in here. So this is not your main data center. This is like a backup for you. Okay. So now anything happens to my main data center, what will happen? My connectivity directly point to my backup data center, where my customer go ahead and they can access my things in here. So whatever whatever the applications you're running in here, the same application will be running in my data center 2 as well. So it's exactly the replica. My data center 2 is a replica of my data center 1. What are the things running in here? The exactly same will be having within my data center 2 as well. So that is how they plan. That is how they have your availability options. Is it like again up to purely based upon you only? If you want, then only they'll go and try to run your server or run your application within my data center 2 as well. If not, they will not go with. So this backup data center will run only those servers or those applications where your customer clearly mentions that yes, I want a backup, because just in case in the current scenario, just in case we have a cyclone or we have a tsunami, so all of a sudden everything is gone, then I don't want my customer to be impacted from some other part of the world. So for that reason being, I need a backup for sure. For that reason, this will be established just like 250 kilometers range from my data center 1 in here. Similar to this one, I also have one more backup. It's not only with one backup in here, I also have one more backup within my data center 3 in here. So why? Because they don't want to make problems, even though something happened in this one as well. They want to have one more in here. The reason being, every region contains 3 to 4 data centers. One is the primary and other two are my backups in here. So something goes wrong to in here, not a problem. My connectivity goes directly to my, to my third data center what you have in here. That's how it goes. Let me make it as 75%. Yeah, now you can see more clearly. So this is how it goes in here. And this data center again will be within a range, around like 150 to 250 kilometers range from my data center 2. So it's again 250 kilometers more far from my data center 1 in here. So within the same Tamil Nadu, or I would say within the Chennai region, I can have 3 different data centers: primary, secondary one, and my backup one, or my backup two. So data center 1, data center 2, data center 3, or availability zone 1, availability zone 2, or availability zone 3. So this is how they plan with respect to every region what you have in here. So just in case anything happened to my main data center, then my second data center will come into picture. If anything happened to this one, then it will come into picture. It's generally very rare cases. It may happen like where all of my data centers are down from the same region. So it means there is the impact around 500 kilometers from here to here 250, from here to here to more 250 kilometers in. So all together within my 500 kilometers range, there's something went wrong. So generally all the places going wrong, it doesn't happen. 99.99%, very rare cases. Okay. So in such a scenario, you can have your backups. But again, guys, suppose as I told you, I don't have that much budget, so I'm just for only for practicing purpose, or it's very tiny application. Even though my my data is lost or my application is down, not a problem for me. So I don't have those many users generally using my application. Even though my server is down or my application is down, my customers can wait until it's up and running again. So in that scenario, you don't need to have your backup. I'm deleting here. Similarly, in my third data center also, I'm trying to delete my application. It's not required. That means your application is running only in your data center 1, but not in data center 2 or not in data center 3 in here. So there's no backup for your application here. It's only running within your primary availability zone in here. So in that scenario, you are clearly mentioning that I don't want to have any redundancy. I don't want to have any duplicate of my server running in my different availability zones in here. Okay, so generally when you have low budget, or your application, even though there is no impact on your customers, even though your application is down for some time. So in such a scenarios, yes, you can go with only one data center, and you can clearly mention that I don't want to have any redundancy. I don't want to have any duplicate replicas of my servers running in multiple data centers in. So such a scenario, you can go ahead and choose availability options, no infrastructure redundancy required. I don't want to have. So just go ahead and try to put it in only in my primary availability zone in here. That's it. That's more than enough for me. But if you want to go, see here, I can say physical zones, virtual scale set, all those multiple options we have in here. But a real-time perspective, mostly will be having, the backups for sure. That's how they,
Shyam,
yeah,
so the backup, do we need to create or it creates by itself?
we don't need to create anything. Everything will be taken by your Azure. Only you have to choose the
Okay,
option.
perfect. Okay,
So every option what you choose, it increases your price.
sure.
Because
So, by
yeah,
any chance, the primary gets deleted by by mistake or something, so the replica gets deleted by itself or
replica,
something
what do you mean? Do you mean by
like
this one?
yeah, I mean the primary there is an app in primary data center, and it
Mm-hmm.
gets corrupt. And in data center 2 and 3, we have backup of that primary of that app. So that
Mm-hmm.
backup apps does does it get corrupted by itself because
No,
it's
no, no,
all
no. See,
automated.
the backup, it means that same thing, right? Once anything,
Yeah.
one thing going wrong, it'll connect to my backup. So
Okay.
if you try to delete the things from your data center, you're trying to delete your virtual machine totally, then of
Okay.
course it will get deleted in all the missions, all the backups in here. It's up to you, right? So you're trying to do it manually on your own. So it's not, when you do that, then automatically those things will be reflected within your backups as well. If it's
Got it.
corrupted with one data center, then you can go with your second data center. That's the meaning of the usage of your backups in here.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's your thing, with respect to my availability options, what we have in here. So currently, since we are, it's my own individual account, I don't want to go in the backups. So I'm trying to choose no infrastructure redundancy required for sure in here. Okay. The thing is like security type. So you have, the brass standard, your trusted launch virtual machines in here. So you can see, it's a kind of advanced attacks on general. So, when you see your virtual machine, so generally there'll be lot many other people who are bothering lot much on you. So they will not bother their own business, but they'll bother others' business, right? So there's nothing but hackers. So the security should be very tight with respect to the virtual machines in here. So because I don't want my any people to hack my systems, I don't want any people to hack my application and steal my data from my application in here. So for that reason being, what you have a security. So standard level security, and we also have your trusted launch virtual machine here. So protects against persistent and advanced attacks on your virtual machines in here. So you are secured or all those things. So sir, highly advanced kind of security. So you can choose in here. If you choose this one, so secure board, you secure your, all those things in here. But generally, if you go normal level, you can choose your standard level. So standard is mostly it's more than enough, but it's when you're trying to go with exclusively more other things, specifically for you, I want to monitor exclusively, then you can go with your other options in here. But what are the options you chose in here? Everything will be charged. So if I say exclusive, the name itself very costly. Yeah, the words are very costly. Exclusive. So private, exclusive, all those things are very much costly in here. So if you're having much budget and you want to have your application to be more very much secure, and you don't want your customers to impact like if at any cost, then you can go with your more secure levels, or else standard is more than enough in here. This is normal level of normal level of having your security. So with respect to your virtual machines, of course, Azure assures you that the security for sure, that nobody will hack your system, nobody has to do the things in here. So what they do, if you want to have more kind of security, if you want to keep generally keep one eye on your application, if you want to keep both eyes on your application, then you can go with your more exclusive parts. It's when you're trying to have all the eyes on your application, then I'll ask you more money. But I'm giving you more security. I'm trying to keep all my eyes on your application only. Then, or have a separate person who's trying to monitor your application only. Then please pay me more. So each and everything what you do in here, it's a kind of money based in here. So that's about the security level you have. Next is the image, because here what you're trying to do, I'm trying to create my virtual machine, or I'm trying to create my, it's a kind of a laptop what you have in front of you. It's a kind of desktop what you're trying to work on. So when you talk about laptop or desktop, what we generally go with, we'll talk about your RAM, we talk about your hard disk, we'll talk about your operating system as well, right? So all these are minimum basic things to configure your laptop or desktop. Similarly here as well, when you're trying to create your laptop, or when you're trying to create a virtual machine within my cloud level, you have to choose your own configuration, because as I told you, with respect to each and every configuration, your price will differ. So when you choose a lesser configuration, the price will be only less 2,000 rupees per month. If you're going with a higher configuration, it can also have 35,000, 40,000 per month as well. Because they're trying to provide 112 GB of RAM, 112 GB. Imagine how huge it is. Generally, we can go with 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB within laptops. So you can go with 32 GB, 64 GB, 112 GB. All these different kind of configurations also available within my cloud level in here. So along with that, what kind of operating system you want to have in here. So currently what we're trying to create, we are trying to create a Windows operating system in here. Where is that? We're trying to create a Windows virtual machine in here. For that reason being, I will try to go ahead and I will try to choose my Windows in here. So you can see all images. So this is a kind of a marketplace where you can see all kind of the virtual machine or operating system what you have. So I can see Windows Server, and you can see multiple options you have with respect to my Windows as well. So this is all this is a kind of a respect to versions of my Windows in here. You can select any one of the things in here, or else Red Hat. This is a Linux system again, which has been sponsored by a Red Hat in here. We have Debian 10, Ubuntu. This is also Linux system in here, but this is this is coming from a Tidal Media. So this particular Ubuntu system has been provided by a Tidal Media in here, and this is also a Linux system which is provided by Red Hat in here. So this is a Debian 10. It's a kind of a virtual machine in here where it's a universal operating system, something like that. So people who knows this, who already worked on it, they may understand. So similarly, you have a LAMP, Bitmani, CentOS. We have Ubuntu different versions in here, and you have your other 20, something 20.4 version. You have Windows Server. You have a lot many things in this. So Apache, Microsoft, HPC. So a lot many other things we have in here. So in generally real-time perspective, mostly what I saw is like Windows or Ubuntu, Linux system, and Windows system. Mostly you'll go with. But some cases you may also use your other operating system also based upon the requirement what you have. Okay. So currently what I'll do, I am trying to choose my Windows system in here, and I'm trying to choose any one of my one of my server in here. So this is my operating system you can go with, or you can go with Windows 10. So I can see Windows 10 Pro as well within the same list. So you can choose Windows 10 as well, not a problem. Okay. So Windows 10 Pro, this is something what? This is a kind of operating system I'm trying to choose to install or within my virtual machine in here. So when I create my virtual machine, that will be opening similar to my exact laptop what I have in here. I'll show you that later on. Okay. So this is my image. So image is what? It's nothing but operating system what you want to choose for with respect to my virtual machine here. So next we have a thing called spot instance. This is little bit I think the question asked by Chandra, I think you can find the you can relate the things with the spot option in here. Azure spot instance. So what is this one? So let me go with a small example, guys, so that you can clearly understand, and then we can come back on the spot instance in here. Okay, tell me one thing. How many people traveled on train without a ticket? Anybody from our team in here? Or okay, let me in here. How many people traveled in a train with waiting list ticket? Oh, Muda, you are traveled without ticket. Hello.
Yes, Shyam.
Yeah, yes, Shyam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So how many traveled, man, with the waiting list ticket at least? Okay, forget about without
I have
ticket.
traveled. I have traveled once.
With waiting list ticket or no ticket?
Waiting list ticket.
Okay. So the same example, let's take that example. So generally, what happens when you travel with waiting list ticket? Let's say the example. So now what I did, like I want to travel tomorrow only, but unfortunately, what I do not get any tickets in here. So I booked a ticket and it was in waiting list mode. So tomorrow I went to I went to TT on the day which I'm trying to journey. I went to my ticket collector and I asked him, sir, can I have a confirmed ticket with respect to my ticket what I have with me? So he said, okay, go ahead and please stand on some compartment number, some S11 or S12, whatever it is. It's a train compartment number. I'm talking in India, guys. Okay, so Muda, you're from USA, right? So just relate the things with your environment over there. So some compartment number he told, and I went in that compartment and I was standing over there. So since it's waiting list, I don't have a confirmed berth for me. Even I don't have a confirmed seat to at least sit over there. So I need to stand and wait for the collected or my ticket collector to confirm my berth. So you stood for around like couple of hours already. The train started and you stood for couple of hours, and suddenly you found that one seat is empty. So okay, you thought, okay, I can go and sit over there for a while. So I've been standing for a couple of hours, and you went there. When you're trying to sit over there, the adjacent passenger or the co-passenger over there, he told that, boss, there is a one person's already sitting over here. He just went to washroom. He'll be back in 5 minutes. So it's not an empty seat over here. Then what you do in general? You request him saying that, boss, I've been standing for a couple of hours. So I will just sit for a while until he comes back. Did anybody have such kind of experience, guys?
Yeah, Sham.
Yeah, generally we do have such kind of experience. So what
Every
you
time.
do, you sit for a while in here, but once the main passenger came back, you have to sit, you have to you get up and you have to again go to your own place where you're standing alone all over, again, previous. The same kind of situation here as well. Azure Spot instance. So this one, so I would like to go and I want to deploy my application in ES2S. But the space what I have in here is already filled up. The space in my region, in this region is already filled up. So no space for my application to sit in here. There's no server free to run my application in this particular region in here. So in that scenario, what your cloud says that I have an option for you. What is that? I have checked all the servers which has been available in my east to west, and I found like one of the server has been stopped for temporary basis. As you, the other passenger went out for a personal work, here as well, the particular application has been stopped on temporary basis. If you want, I can use that server to run your application until the main person comes and starts his application back in again. Okay, so what he wants is saying that here, so cloud will allow you to run your application in east to west only or until the main application person starts his server, because you don't have any space in here for sure. The space is not there, it's already filled up. So what cloud said that I found one application which is in stopped mode, which has been stopped mode, the server is not running. So if you want, I can take that stopped server and I can use that particular space for you just for temporary basis only. Once the particular person comes back and he says that, okay boss, I want to start my server, at the same time we have to go out of my region at any cost. The same application, the same example what you just saw with respect to train, here as well you can do that. So when you want to run your application for temporary purpose, then you no need to pay the whole amount with respect to cloud, because here again the advantage is here something happened. Okay, what about this? So the advantage in here is that since you have been placed for temporary purpose and you have to go out immediately when you want to, when the other main person comes into picture, for that reason being you will be provided huge discount. So it's around like 90% discount they'll provide you. They try to provide you around like 90% discount. So why this much? Because you are just placed on temporary basis. But once your main application comes back, you will be simply thrown out of the region at any cost. So you cannot say, please give me 5 minutes or please give me 10 minutes. No, you have to go out at any cost because you are a temporary purpose guy in here. Understood? So there is a spot instance at that particular spot, at particular moment of time, you can have an instance available within your region. So, and many people who want to run for your application for temporary purpose, who want to check the application is running fine, all those for temporary purpose, then they can opt for spot instance. But huge applications, very regular applications like your Netflix or your YouTube, these people will never use that one because there are millions of people, customers are using this application here. If these people's it's been using a spot instance, then you will be gone. So there are lot many of customers will be impacted for sure. Okay, so if you want to go, enable it. So you can see what you want to do it. You want to stop, delete, or you want to deallocate, delete. What do you want to go once you have your the person came back in here. So based upon the things, the choose the maximum price, all those things will have comes into picture in here. So that is how, so, the spot instance comes into picture only when you want to run for your temporary basis, but not a permanent level. So generally,
can we move to other region once once the main person came?
for now you'll be thrown out, but again you can check for other region later on.
Okay, again we need to create one new one, right?
Yeah, this is that. That is the reason. That is the reason that they're trying to give you huge discount in here because at any point of time you may go out. So it's like oh, you don't know what happens at what point of time in here. So that's how it goes.
So is there a chance that somebody come back or some application come back and we are thrown out, but same time there is another spot available? So does
Yes, of
the
course. If that is there, they may switch to other spaces. That's based upon scenario. Yeah, it's based upon scenario. If they have couple of slots available, then yes, of course they can do that. It's not only one slot available, and then you will be thrown out. But if we have another option, then they'll move to your other slot, which is already stopped over there. So there's a chances.
So throwing out means the application gets stopped.
Throwing out means, yeah, your application will be stopped, your washing machine will be deleted, everything. So you don't have your things again back in. So generally,
So we
there
need to
instead of
delete everything.
So we lose
just
complete
stop
data
it.
here in this case.
Sorry, yeah,
We'll be
Ravi.
losing complete data also.
No. So that's the reason they're providing you the option in here. So when you choose this one, do you want to stop or deallocate or do you want to delete? If you delete it, of course, everything is gone along with the data. But it's better to stop or deallocate. That's it. Where you can restart it again later on if you want. Okay, in this scenario, in the second scenario, nothing will happen. It just your application just stopped. Your data is there, everything will be there for sure, but it's not deleted. Understood? So generally we don't go, only very few people will go with that things only based upon the requirement they are into. So when they want to go for temporary papers, then they can enable this option. So most of the customers, like very few small applications, they want to run in the things and they want to check for temporary papers, then they can opt for spot instances in here.
Sham, is showing on your screen that there is a Azure Spot instance. When I'm going in my Azure virtual machine, like I'm creating on the side when you're giving an example, but I don't see any Azure Spot instance on my screen.
Okay, probably
So
it's based upon the location, I believe.
okay, so
So
if I'm getting a free service eligible for Ubuntu server 20 point something LTS generation 2, so I can select anything, or do I need to select only Windows 10?
no, here image.
So anything, or uh,
You can choose anything. It's not.
okay,
I used Windows 10 earlier. That's the reason it's coming up. See, recently used. So you
okay,
can use even this one, not a problem. I can use my
Fine.
Windows Server. Everything is a Windows machine here.
Sure.
Yeah, Windows 10, Windows 11 we have, right? Windows 11 is coming up. All the similar cases, only the feature will be different here and there. So that I just choose my Windows 10 just to make sure, like nowadays everybody knows what is Windows 10. That is the reason being I chose this one. So this is one of the option available within the list what you have in here. Okay, so you can
Got it.
choose anything based upon what you choose in here. Based upon that, your virtual machine is be decided is that it's your Windows virtual machine or it's your Linux virtual machine, based upon your operating system, based upon the image what you chose within your option level in here, image option. Okay,
Got it.
right. So next we do have something like sizes. So size is again, so till now when you're trying to configure a laptop or desktop, what you just chose the operating system. But actually what I need my RAM as well, how much RAM I want, all those things as well, right? So if now your actual cost will be decided based upon the size what you choose, based upon the RAM what you choose in here. So by default you can see two virtual CPUs. This is something like the processor you have and 4 GB of RAM. For this one, how much is costing for me? It's costing me at 2,187 rupees per month. Similar, if you want to see more sizes, see mostly used by Azure users in here. So I can see my RAMs right from 0.5 GB, that is 500 MB, till I can see 32 GB as well. So this is with respect to the most used by Azures, but you can also have more other things as well. So high performance VM compute, you have see all those things. See 112. So 112 GB of RAM in here. It's not a small thing, guys. So similarly, you have other series as well. So you can see multiple kind of things you have in here. So where you can go ahead and use it. So, but everything what you choose, right from 0.5 GB, you have only one virtual CPU in here. The maximum IOPS is 160. What is IOPS in here? Operations per second. I'll tell you this particular part going forward in tomorrow's class. So here you can choose the RAM. This is the configuration what you have with respect to your virtual machine. If you choose this one, then what is the price? It's just 273 rupees per month. It's as estimated price in here, guys. It's not, once you create a virtual machine, you have to pay 273 rupees for sure. As I told you earlier, it's purely based upon your consumption. Now you may create this. After 1 hour, you deleted that. Then only just 20 paisa you have to pay, more, not more than that. Because it's monthly level, it's very small amount in here, 273 per hour. Think how it will be. Maybe not more than 10 paise or 5 paise, probably. So you can use this one as well. Okay. Similarly, when you're trying to go with more 1 GB or 4 GB or 3.5 GB, or if you're trying to increase more, see the IOPS is very much huge. And the V CPUs are 8 processor running in here. In that scenario, you have to pay around like 20,000 rupees in here. So this these prices are purely for my with respect to my east to west, because I choose my east to west as my location. But if you're trying to go with some other thing, see the region is east to west. But if you're trying to go with some other region, this price will not be same. This will be different. For the same configuration, your price may be high or maybe low with some other region in here. So based upon the region, based upon the price what you have to choose the things in here. Okay, so that's how it goes. So based upon the region what you have, your prices will be different. So this will be not same, but of course the configuration will be same, but the price will be different with respect to your different regions what you have in here. Okay, so based upon your RAM, the size, your virtual CPUs, the maximum IOPS what you have, everything you have your price in here. Based upon that, we can choose whatever you want. See, right from 273 rupees to I have 20,000 rupees as well. But of course, if you go with multiple other options, I can see 23,000 with this 4th generation things in here. And you see 63,000 rupees when I'm trying to go with 112 GB of RAM, and so 32 into 500 is my IOPS. I'll explain to you about this in tomorrow's class. What is IOPS? So 63,000 rupees per month. So based upon the configuration you choose, you have to pay that much amount to your cloud in here. So guys, make sure you try to choose a least one. So not so least, but at least you have to run your things slow. I'm trying to go at least 4 GB of RAM in here. Okay, so it's better to choose minimum things that based upon for this one, this will cost you around like 3 rupees per hour, not more than that, just 3 rupees per hour. So it will show us that towards the end of my creating my virtual machine, this is what you will be have to pay per hour in here. It will show us. Okay, so I'll stop here guys for today. Tomorrow I'll try to explain you what you mean by IOPS in here. Why this, what are these numbers, what we have in here, what do you mean by these numbers in here. So try to explain this one, and then we'll try to select one of the option and we'll move forward. We'll jump into the other level, administration account, all these things. So for now, up to this level, subscription, resource group, name, region, availability options, your security tag, image, and spot instance. Up to this level, have anybody have any questions?
Shyam, Sachin here. I'm sorry. Yesterday I had to leave some emergency.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Uh, I mean, is there any specific reason why we have to choose a Windows or Ubuntu as what you call,
Okay.
or
So
I mean,
generally,
operating system? I mean, what exactly? Yeah.
yeah, it's not any specific reason we have in here. You can choose any operating system because this is like based upon what operating system you choose. You should be able to access it. You should be able to, go and do the work inside it. If you choose something else, suppose I'm choosing some, CentOS. I have not been done with that earlier, or I have been using something else. I don't know what the basic of things. So most of us, do you know how can you operate your Mac operating system? So it's not, it's purely
Yes.
based upon, yeah, few people may know. I'm not saying that everybody will
Right. Right.
don't know, but I
Right.
will know a few. Most of us we are habituated to have Windows only. So even in your real-time perspective, you will not be working from your laptop directly. So you will be provide a virtual machine. You will be provide your VDI, where from there you will be connecting to your actual portal. So currently you're trying to do it from your local machine, but actually will not in real time perspective you will not be doing from your local machine. You will be doing from your virtual machine. So from there you will connect to your client portal, and from there you'll be trying to create your instances of whatever you want to go over there. So that is the reason being, if you want to using your all those things, it should be similar to my Windows, right? The however I'm having my laptop, how I'm trying to connect my, the port of everything. I should have my Chrome, I should have my Microsoft Edge to connect my systems. For that reason being, I'm trying to go with my Windows 10 in here. So Windows 10 is mostly provided to the people who are working for a particular client to have their requirement to be satisfied. The other one, the Linux. Why we tend to go with Linux? Because I want to deploy my application and I want allow my end users to use that application. So generally deployment part with respect to my, any application will be done in your Linux system. So mostly 99% in your real-time perspective, you'll be seeing Windows for working purpose, Linux for deployment of application purpose. So these two are generally you see mostly. And apart from this, you have other Debian, we have CentOS, you have Red Hat. So even those you can choose it here. It's not a mandatory you have to choose only these two. So why we do is because we are most of us are familiar with Windows system in here, Windows laptop or Windows system what we have in here. And again, few people may not know what is Linux system, what the commands have to go over there to run the things, to process the things over there. So few people may not know, but that is an important part with respect to your real-time environment. For that reason, we are trying to cover your Linux system as well, along with my basic commands, everything in here. So these two will be covered with respect to our training session in here. And if you want, yes, go ahead and choose other things as well. Not only not Ubuntu or not only this one. If you want, you can go ahead and choose your, suppose my Debian. So here I can say I have for Debian I have multiple versions. I can choose one of the Debian in here. So choose Debian, not a problem. So this will try to create a Debian operating system. But you have to understand how this works internally. For Windows, yes, I know. Or I'll be having a C drive, I'll be having a D drive, or you can go ahead and can do what I want in here. But I don't know how my Debian looks like internally. If you want to go and check it out and try to see how it looks like and see how it been working over there itself again. Okay, so this is also a kind of a Linux kind of system in here. This Debian is not like, you know, it's not purely Windows. It's also kind of a Linux operating system what you have in here. Within your Linux, you have Ubuntu, you have Red Hat, you have a Debian. All these things are different you know, kind of versions of your things in here, kind of flavors of your Linux. So mostly you'll see Ubuntu or Windows mostly within your real-time environment. Okay. So any other question? Did I answer your question, Sachin?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. So any other questions, guys? Right then, we'll wind up for today. We'll meet tomorrow again, same time with extensions of your concept virtual machine. Okay.
Yeah, tension.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Have a great day and bye bye.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.